Because I'm actually with Mr. Skull's class right now. So what you're seeing right here, I'm actually teaching this in real time, which is not the way that it usually works. So today's lesson is on sedimentary rocks, one of the three different types of rocks that all rocks fall into. There are three different categories, okay? And this one's called sedimentary. So by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to say, what is the definition of a sedimentary rock? How are they formed? And I'm going to show you some examples of sedimentary rock, okay? But let's review. A mineral comes from nature. It's made of crystals, and it's only made of itself. And a rock is a combination of two or more minerals. And I make the example, as I have done many times, of a delicious cake and the ingredients of those cakes. The ingredients being minerals, you combine them to make a cake or a rock. You know what I mean. So of the three categories, we will have an entire other day that's going to be igneous day. An entire other day that's going to be metamorphic day. Today is sedimentary day, okay? I tried one year teaching them all on the same day. It was too much. It was too much to handle. So really, if I break it up like this, it's so much easier. So let's break it down, shall we? The word sedimentary has a word that's hidden in it, and that word is called sediment. Repeat after me. Sediment. Sediment. Sedimentary. Sediment. So, what is a sediment? Well, sediments are tiny little bits of things that you can find at the bottom of an ocean, at the bottom of a lake. It's like sand, broken down seashells, something called silt, which is kind of like a very loose sand. That's what sediments are. They're at the bottom of lakes and rivers, and they're the loose stuff, not the rocks, the loose stuff. Okay, those are called sediments. It's important to know what a sediment is, right? And the other thing that we need to know, look at the colors of those layers. Sediments form in layers. So over thousands and millions of years, the sand, the silt, the crushed up seashells, they form in layers. And one layer on top of the other, bless you, on top of the other, on top of the other, on top of the other. You don't need your computers open for this, ladies, and for Mr. Skull's class. You don't need those. You can close those computers now. So they form in layers. And then over time, the layers get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, okay? And there's so much stuff on top of them, they get squished together, okay, by heat and pressure. Hey, folks, it's time to learn our first hand gesture of the day. And here's what it is. I'm going to do this many, many times, okay? And this is how it goes, okay? I want you to put your hands in front of you, and I want you to clasp them together like this. And then I want you to switch positions and go like this and squeeze. Switch positions and squeeze. This is the hand gesture, not for sedimentary rocks, by the way. This is the hand gesture for heat and pressure. Heat and pressure. Again. Heat and pressure. Again. Heat and pressure. One more time. Heat and pressure. All rocks, most of them, are formed from heat and pressure. Heat and pressure are really important to making rocks. So they get squished down. The heat and the pressure presses the layers tighter and tighter and tighter until eventually those layers form a sedimentary rock. Hey, I just showed you that. It's the one for heat and pressure. The heat and the pressure squish the layers, and those layers turn into rocks. Yes?
Why does the heat and pressure squeeze so tight?
Because if you were to lay on the ground and then I were to like put like tons upon tons of dirt on top of you, it would squish you. The same thing happens under the ground. Seriously. So the same thing happens underground. So the more stuff and sand and dirt and rocks and everything that builds up over time, it puts so much pressure on whatever's underneath that it squishes it. And that's what forms rocks. So that's a great question, actually. Hey, look at those. Look at that. That is a rock that was formed from heat and pressure, right? And you can kind of see some layers in it. Can you see the layers in all sedimentary rocks? No, unfortunately not. But some you can. Some you can look right at them and go, oh man, that's a sedimentary rock. I can see the layers that were squished by heat and pressure. And sometimes you can't. You just sort of have to know. Boo. So, hey, I've got another hand gesture for you. So since sedimentary rocks form in layers, the hand gesture for and it's really easy to learn, by the way. Put your hand in front of you like this, and we're going to do like a chopping motion like this. Chopping motion, right? Right? And now we're going to make many layers, right? One layer, lower, chop, lower, chop, lower, chop. Lower, chop, chop, chop. Again, chop, chop, chop. Again. And we chop, we do these layer motion, and then we say sedimentary. Again, sedimentary. And this means layers. That's why we do this with our hand. This means layers. This means layers. This means layers. Heat and make sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary. You get the idea? So those are the two hand gestures that we have learned today. And we will learn other ones too. So let's see. This one's called limestone. You can't see the layers, unfortunately. There's a huge limestone quarry by Mr. Brown's house. It's made up of crushed seashells, okay? So over thousands and millions of years, all the seashells at the bottom of the ocean eventually get pulverized into little tiny bits. And then the heat and squish the little crushed up seashells into a rock called limestone. Does it taste like lime? No, it does not. Do not put it in your drink. It would not be tasty. It's made of crushed seashells. Oh, you can see the layers in this one. It's called sandstone, and what do you think it's made out of? Sand. It's literally layers of sand that have been squished together from heat and pressure. I would say that this one would be low on the Mohs scale because you can literally take, if you rub the sandstone, and little bits will come off of it. So it's not that hard. Like you wouldn't want to go rock climbing on sandstone because you'd slip off. Okay, I think it's low on the Mohs scale. This is shale. I don't know if you could. I think the image to the left, I think those are man-made cuts on the side. I don't think you could literally see. But this is another example of a sedimentary rock. But again, you can't always see the layers. Sometimes you can, and sometimes you can't. Whoa, look at those layers. I can see the layers on that rock. I can tell that's sedimentary. All right, absolutely. So sometimes you can see the layers and sometimes you can't. Hey gang, let's review. Sedimentary rocks come from sediments. Sediments are sand or broken down bits of rocks or shells. They're usually at the bottom of the ocean or a lake or a stream or a river. They form in layers. Those layers get squished from heat and pressure. Sometimes you can see the layers of sedimentary rocks, and sometimes you can't. For those of us who are live in front of me, this lesson will continue. For everyone else, this lesson is going to stop, and you'll need to make sure that you do your Google form and your daily discussion for today. Have a wonderful day.